In the dark and wild world of Norse mythology, giants, Jötunn, often serve as both adversaries and catalysts in the tales of gods. Among them, Hymir stands out as a powerful and complex figure. He is most famously known as the father of Tyr, the god of war, and as the reluctant companion of Thor during one of the most epic fishing trips ever told, the attempt to catch Jörmungandr, the world's serpent. Hymir's tale, preserved in the Poetic Edda and referenced in the Prose Edda, is one of cunning, fear, and divine power crashing against primal chaos. Hymir is a Jötunn of great renown and strength who dwells in a distant land at the edge of the sea. Like many Jötnar, he is not simply a villain, but a powerful being connected to the forces of nature, in his case, the oceans and depths. In some versions, Hymir is also a brewer and owner of a massive cauldron, large enough to brew ale for all the gods. This makes him central to not one, but two major myths involving the gods of Asgard. In the story told in the poem Hymir, the gods seek to hold a feast in honor of the sea god Aegir. However, Aegir demands an enormous cauldron to brew beer for the occasion, one that only Hymir possesses. Thor and Tyr set out to obtain it, venturing to Hymir's hall in the icy far-off land. When they arrive, Hymir is less than hospitable. His wife Tyr's mother warns them to hide and prepares them for his wrath. When Hymir arrives and discovers the intruders, he is furious but allows them to stay. To prove their worth, Hymir challenges Thor to a test of strength. After a meal, he tells Thor to fetch his own food, thus leading to the legendary fishing trip. Thor agrees, and the two set off in a boat. Hymir brings bait, but Thor wants something bigger. He rips off the head of Hymir's prized ox to use as bait for his true target, Jörmungandr, the Midgard serpent. Once at sea, Thor casts the ox head into the waters. Deep below, Jörmungandr bites, and Thor hauls up the enormous beast, tightening his grip on Mjolnir, ready to strike the serpent down. The moment is cataclysmic. Thor's power surges, the sea boils, and Jörmungandr's venom drips as the two titanic forces lock and struggle. But Hymir, terrified at the sight of the world-ending monster, panics and cuts the fishing line, letting the serpent plunge back into the depths and denying Thor his victory. The story doesn't end there. Upon returning to Hymir's hall, Thor must still take the great cauldron. But another challenge awaits. Hymir tells Thor that only the strongest can break a certain goblet, which Thor then smashes by hurling it against Hymir's own skull, the only thing hard enough to shatter it. This comedic yet symbolic moment shows that even brute force sometimes needs a touch of strategy. Thor then lifts the enormous cauldron, a feat even Hymir could not manage, and carries it back to Asgard, leaping over mountains along the way. The feast is saved, the gods rejoice, and Hymir is left behind, defeated but not destroyed. Hymir's role in Norse mythology is rich with symbolic meaning. He represents obstacle and resistance, but not evil. Like many giants, he embodies the natural world in its harshest, most uncontrollable form. His cauldron represents resources that the gods need but cannot create themselves. They must wrest them from chaos. His fear during the Jörmungandr scene highlights the terror of true knowledge or fate, as Jörmungandr is central to Ragnarok, the end of all things. Thor's confrontation with both Hymir and the serpent echoes broader themes in Norse cosmology. The gods must engage with and often confront the primordial forces to uphold order, but they can never completely destroy them. Hymir survives because the struggle between chaos and cosmos is ongoing and cyclical. In modern retellings and interpretations, Hymir remains a compelling figure. His tale resonates with those who see myth as a metaphor for the human condition, confronting fear, facing the unknown, and overcoming great obstacles through strength, wit, and perseverance. For followers of Norse pagan paths, Hymir's story reminds us of the balance between chaos and control, and the courage needed to journey into the depths of our fears to retrieve what is vital. Though he is not among the pantheon of gods, Hymir's role in the mythos is essential. He is the storm at sea, the cold resistance, the silent force that must be faced before progress can be made. Through his tale, we see Thor not just as a hammer-wielding warrior, but as a hero who journeys into uncertainty and brings back the tools of celebration and life.